Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Today is September 19th, 2022. September 19th, 2022. You know, September the dawn. It means say 2022 not already done so. After September, there are 3 months left. 3 months they go like a waiting. So basically, elections, about 8 months, elections they can. You know, we don't see the way the registration process go. It's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing for we as a nation in 2022. You know, like how they say again, some of the things they worry for, that's what they need to for the fight for again. For register people, for let people get rights to vote, you know, for protect our constitution, let people stick by the standards of the constitution, what the constitution say. We're not for the fight for anything they go, for don't pass that now. We for remember now for put satellites na space. Now that's for the fet over now. For the car we argue now. No, hey, boy, no, who said I'm on satellite? You don't put that one number. No, we need for put 4 more. Now that's for the talk about now. We want for the talk again about the road network. We healthcare. We for the talk about how much more hospitals for build, how much more doctors they for send for come out for can train. You know, how much even we also medical schools them now for equip them properly. Those are the things for the talk about. But look what the struggle take today for registration process. You know, for people on the turn, they can't turn 18 for let them vote. You know, the democratic rights, the civil rights, the political rights, everything. We're not for the argue, but that day again. That day for be easy. We're not for even the worry for say the registration. They make an interfaces. They make an half yanda, half by yanda. No, I don't even know why registration for be such a hassle. Registration for be something for open right through the year. You the only picking hand number way, you know, say get for turn it. You can't go to the neck office. You can't go there when I go register right through the year. This is the office they when they pay them people their salaries every month before they run. You know, some people we country we don't give up. You see, what to run begin so like what a lot of other people not be do and people not be sincere and we see any pan. You know, I see the speech of the new president of Kenya. Go break it to that video we share. Where the president they talk about the fact that you know they employ nobody in the opposition. Let the opposition be vibrant. That is the kind of a democracy they look for. But you look salon today, we see COP, you know, the press conference of COP. And we want to say many thanks to Miss Femi Claudia School. Now, no, she's been doing a phenomenal work. We see everybody now and they go ahead for do their thing. They go say, hey, boy, it's collaboration. We got to come together as a political party. When they say leaders, they're not for speak again individually on their individual terms. Like where one person go come out, so you know, say this thing is not right. Like come out and make a statement for myself. No, everybody they look for that shielded umbrella. And it's not even about the efficacy or the effectiveness of COP as itself. It's like in a hide they go hide day. Because what you do, and no say, okay, if I can't talk now. If anything, I'll get. You know, it's so sad for we country. People cannot come out speak individually. Take to radio stations, take to TV. We don't say people like Richard Conte not afraid, not scared. Right here, they talk 1 and 2 times. But sometimes we go look forward for see the kind of debates and with TV station, them AIV and all of these places. Individually, as former leaders in that country, when they see the sacrifice when they make, they have to do more. You know, COP. I wanted the APC remember this as well. APC that is supposed for the lead COP as an institution safe now at this particular point because COP is a very powerful institution. When the opposition comes together, it's a very powerful thing. But if the right people wait for actually put their voice already show up for the press conference there, like for example, the leaders of the opposition party them, the parliament, not show up at the COP meeting them. What you know is it now like say COP is beneath them, like COP not on this institution, we're powerful enough for handle them. Waiting at the problem with these leaders of the opposition. Let's go to the APC as an example. Whereas we see Honorable Ladmukagbo, very vibrant young man. We see Honorable AKK, they beg, let the government do something. A member of parliament should not be begging. First of all, member of parliament, you must not, you and beg. We also not forget that. As a legislator, when you language, you verbiage, you enough for ever, your vocabulary, not for include beg. You don't beg nobody as a member of parliament. You admonish people. You talk to people. You demand from people. That is your work as a legislator. Any member of parliament, they come for car, they beg. No, you're not serious. Get out, you're not serious. But you see, I'll come back to Cherikoko as the leader of the opposition. For let COP get the kind of by effectiveness. Why this man not get there? Waiting do this guy. Would I tell this man say special in that country there? Would I tell this man say reach that point in life where enough for talk again to people? Would I tell this man say that powerful that your voice if for being like golden it's a golden serpent. Nobody know for your from. Would I tell this man so in times like this under a democracy? Waiting this man feel of himself. Waiting don't go. But you see, this is what you get. 15 years in parliament. After 15 years in parliament, 3 terms. That is what you get. You get somebody again, we're not even serious about the job because you don't take them, say it's just another day. It's nothing. You know, this is the problem where we get with somebody like a Cherry Coco. That is why we don't allow we leaders them for then and then parliament and did that long because they become very, very lethargic to a job. They don't lost taste in the job. What he did it for now, if not for the corruption, like when they tie back and so with the SLPP against APC people, against the APC as a political party, waiting because of the selfish desires for being president in 2028, one for contest the presidency in 2028. So you don't mind like sell the party, sell the supporters them of the political party, let them continue for die, let them continue for kill them, harass them, in order shop that them burying, in order put much there, in no matter if them body in a mortuary, for go fight for them and stand up for them. This is what you get, and that is why this man feels say when the company gets a meeting, enough for the day. If I send Honorable Abukagbo, if I send Honorable AKK, if I sit on back, in a big man, in order talk, in an eskoroma they talk baku, so that eskoroma train they also enough for talk. You know, this is the problem I'll get because again, we don't know if that's why eskoroma tell them more. But former President Kuroma in incapacity, we don't want to talk from again. Why want to can talk? Yes, that's so big man they talk, statesman. But you as a member of parliament, it is your responsibility to talk. And for talk with sense. If you know say you're not able, the job come out there. If the kitchen warm, get out there. It is a fact. But in times like these, we need members of parliament when they come and speak up and advocate on behalf of the people. In times like these, we don't say the common money I can't talk. But when the time is right, like a time like it is right now, when the democracy, we need people for come and advocate. We need people for stand up for defend this democracy. Honorable Cheriko could get a responsibility for join the COP when they get a meeting there. Una left them in there. The only way we salonga for go before. Now when we hold the right leaders accountable. Can they Kelaware? They say don't kind of United Nations. These are the people. Therefore, then that meeting, the international community go take them very seriously. Then go see say why are they serious? They know it's in the pan. Yes, I don't say honorable like you know they don't get the same weight. Yes, sir.
Can you join the team for Canada UN?
Yes, that's what they say. It don't count it.
Okay, yeah, join the team for Canada UN. But we probably happen as Salon saying we from die. Hey, the moon force. You know, Ibrahim, who they talk about leadership, you see, possibly people are misbehave to this high level, to this level, yeah, because they want the way they suffer, people they suffer. They're not able to mortgage their own life and their future to them people and for little thing, and they're not taken for granted. When they tips and low money, then go and hey, this person don't die, then get go 5,000 or 1 million or 2 million, then give them one bag. When they tips and low money, hey, school fee don't open. This man pay school fee for me. If you can left in now for month for Canada UN, but you're not able to make a statement about all this that happen under this voter suppression. The law where then go past the parliament, when they go past and say no expunge and use of NI number in the NCRA, the law that then pass and the MPs then I see a whole look the corporate press list. You see, say AKK they say oh they beg the government, you the big government, you lawmaker, una remote government, go big government, you the big government for two na still una expunge. You know, that tells you that they can bitterly argument. We don't expunge them. It has been expunged. NIN and NCRA. And not just now the NIN Ibrahim. Now they don't come the worst condition they deprive people for go register. Meaning if you put birth certificate, the first way qualify in any country for saying a citizen a birth certificate. A birth certificate don't disqualify people when I go make meeting. We appreciate the meeting they make the COP. We appreciate them very much. But I tell you in their press list, so you read them, you know, like if I go lay complaint to you, Ibrahim, do I they talk? You don't say, this person here, do I lay complaint to this trip? You know, lay complaint. If I don't take action now, something will happen. They lay complaint, do I lay complaint? Now, like person, you know, this kind of complaint, I the first 2-3 days. Ibrahim, anything we know say for take them, till I go to the popo. No, we take with that pot. So let me tell you what, Ibrahim. You know how they behave to the COP and the opposition party and the behave. We host the package, you wanna host the cage for now. Another come out at the host, they run. They almost left for go on the host, so I run after the another for still kill the another.
Yeah.
That's what they can do. So if I don't kill the another, the host on Mondo. Who's that? He pause the left for go try go still like Kilarata. Hey, look at that. They come on my left the fire at the goes. Hey, when I did all the fire for so I chase the other one, I left the other self like who. If you don't escape and the death, now in them they can't do so. Because there is no point in time for us seeing they make a press release where they don't want to talk about. I agree. Say I don't want to talk about the money, but talk about the discussion, the allegation. We don't all the non pointers. African president can through this platform. Don't tell me not to just say 10 million. It show how the money work. And the what they will get this process here, and because they say computers, so the next thing not get money for buying not a lot of computers. But tell them long ago say a lie. When this thing happen, I can still remember the post will be first thing for conversion. I can spokes. He say this NCR. He say buy soon and say them use a voter registration. They just because they want to use the NCR tablet them and the computers them for justify the numbers and so the parliament know this so. Ibrahim, what he made that to the way they say, but for them to go make meeting, the leader of the opposition not go speak. They not speak. Say let me speak on behalf of the political party because we don't get leadership. APC don't get leadership for now. We all know that they, but tell that for fill that vacuum, they make a whole conference say cup. APC they go hide on the cup, then hide on the small picking part by picking there. Like what you do so now, me come recruiter. Once you can beat me picking there, let me go now be 6 year picking. I say yeah, go for me. Now APC they do so. They for go hide under the small party, the party for hide under that for take leadership. Hey, how they gonna make a conference? The leader of the opposition, whether they go pass that law for can't say no, well this law we should not be passed out. For can't tell the one law say we not ever pass this law and neck the committee crime with the government. You killer, they say it didn't UN. Because I must let me also say in the other say he not like brother and SLP. He was an SLP before. Anyway, who was born know that day. How we will get a honest conversion, Ibrahim? And people as alone until or unless when I watch this dishonest job, then people we the one lead we the one turn Salon into chaos because every mistake of 2023 we are going where we came from 30 years ago or 20 years ago because it will be the worst safe. This kind of way because we the people of China know they afford for go 5 miserable years, we then go for kill people more, then go for nap people more for to be very honest with you, when I lock my background, they feel the pain because of the law when they misuse the law of the country. But if you're an MP, then they will protect them, computer they protect it. How do they protect them? They will protect themselves. So the dishonesty starts right from there, Ibrahim.
Absolutely. Comrade, and the sad part, the reality is like how they talk as well. The Lamina, you say don't give up in a SLPP or don't see for C.
No, but they don't give up. They don't give up. Yeah. You don't show yourself. Ibrahim Huna born. Their family time in memorial, they are SLPP. But if we don't come, but Ibrahim, let me tell you something. Being an SLPP, not to offense. Being an APC, not to offense. You say they commit offense, that way you not serve the state.
Absolutely.
We all belong. Ibrahim and APC man. By right? If I so man, for the fan, them, they make what they don't get. No, I said they have, then get right, then get something for do. Being for connect the political party, the danger now they take a party bigger than the country.
Thank you.
The country big pass, all of us. Every political party is alone big pass. So you light into the state, not to a political party or your affiliation. You can talk about constitution every now and then.
Absolutely.
Or your tribe or your religion or it's to the state. Ibrahim, being that we don't make now this party business don't halaki. I don't give the example of UK now. Where Boris Johnson no one come out. You know to say Tifo, he lie no more for say he lie say he don't make party, then say he make them partner. Remember first time young political party cross carpet to good your labor. People that make resign. Ibrahim, now so would expect politics. Donald Trump in America, who said Democrats no one they win day.
Yeah.
They say before this man can call the party, no pull her out, then vote him out because you don't hate your party, but you want for solve the problem.
Absolutely.
So Emma Silamina go into SLPP, no problem, go. But when it comes for the constitution, where the state and the pure, not just the pure, the state the pure.
Absolutely.
Voting bad for say this thing wrong.
Absolutely.
So then just they don't know, then who's the guy the money for going to give people like to thief the thief money?
Of course.
Who's the money parliament for going to thief?
Of course. Who's member of parliament for getting kind of money they pay enough for waiting for do for your family. Who signed for pulling kind of money they that country for the going ship. But comrade, it goes to the point again, and I want every Sierra Leonean, you listen to our messages. I want to let you memorize this part of the constitution. Like how we don't memorize section 25 and section 26. Where section 25 gives you the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. When at section 25. Section 26 gives you freedom to assembly and association. Every individual, everyone is protected. Their rights is protected to assembly and association. I want to memorize section 13b, 13, section 13, subsection B. What I want to say, every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationality and patriotism, so that loyalty lies to the state and not to your sectional, ethnic, regional, or other loyalties. Your loyalty should lie to the state. Now you would tell members of parliament themselves for understand so. But anyways, going back to the point, Kobrekucha, you know, look at the African Express. I see in publication here where they read, where they tweet, where they talk for say, new report by the African Express shows that President Bio took over $500,000 for trip to United Nations and New York. $500,000. Of the $500,000, $300,000 passed through US bank them. Salon people them. We get members of parliament from where African Express. Chenno Majuba is a lawyer, the leader of the opposition at APC. Now say can you can NGC na break away from the SLPP. Now say don't sell to SLPP. Say nothing. Now me papa day I don't mix again. And they can pull me SLPP party. Then guy they had all knowledge to the constitution. I know can pull the SLPP party. I never know if I get opportunity for the SLPP call me back for come make me run mate. Do you ever that left bar the SLPP people don't vex by me. Now say another kind of you can depart.
The man who wrote this not tell you the whole world today.
Exactly.
Not all this is the effect of that.
Exactly. So, but now say Cherry Coco as the leader of the opposition, and we now get used to Cherry Coco in Murekola. That one they pass it command now. But as long as he's there as the leader, and they pay, then they receive money from Mami Modu, from Mami Talabi, from Mami Yeno, when they sell Namaki Sapepe, when Mami they sell Lajakato, that tax where they collect from them, when they go pay Honorable Cherry Coco there. I swear to God, as long as they gotta go do their work. I don't say that Temo. Hey, I don't hate Cherry Coco, we don't hate member of parliament, we don't hate nobody, I don't get no reason for hate them. They didn't feed me, they don't pull bread in my mouth, me and they don't meet up no side one day for nothing, we'll never meet up for anything. But the fact of the matter remains, now we leader them. Like how the whole leaders in this part of the world, we make America advance, England advance. Now show Cherry Coco the whole now that country as the leader of the opposition, the biggest political party in West Africa, one of the oldest political parties in the world. If we're not careful, APC is that kind of a party. Until they first they go pull the executive, then drive former President Koromade, then drive by and send them. Then they for the call say, hey, unakamo, then dissolve the executive. They get that lucky bobo where they call himself Alfred Peter Conte. I see they send all kind of tweets. Una left for follow on Twitter. Una left for follow them. Una left for engage them. Now when they engage them, make it they talk all kind of nonsense. They reach to the point where they share in breakfast. They say in breakfast we eat. Now get power. Now lucky. Una see where somebody don't become useless. That's what it is. Una left for follow on Twitter. Una left for engage in Twitter page. Una come up here now. Una left for no more. Una go see if they talk about good nonsense. But anyways, una see now they go dissolve the executive. They used the court for come and dissolve the APC party. They left the party with no leadership. But the leader of the parliament, who are the biggest opposition in our country, it gets more members than the parliament. It gets power past anybody. Section 86, subsection 2. 86, subsection 2 give power for someone a meeting in parliament. The speaker shall obey. Because what you get more than 20% of the members of parliament. It has more than 20%. So Cherry Coco is the leader. We now get used to them. We call in name every day for waiting the episode of democracy at this particular point in time. Thank you, Kashi.
Like, as a leader, you have the right for kind of galvanize your MP them and then say, look, guys, we need only 20% for come and table the problem of this registration.
Period.
You know, Ibrahim, let me tell you, when come ready to talk and listen now. When you look at everything where they go on that salon and the APC party, it is laziness. You know, Ibrahim, I tell you one thing, we get a very, very long way for go.
Bad.
We get a very long way for go. Every time I can listen to people, and when you talk to people, and you engage people, they can say, oh, what's in the MP there for do? What's in the MP there for
Civic education. Ibrahim, civic education, you know, Kashi. They don't know. And we go tell them, go put it on the head, Kashi. Go ahead.
We've got a long way to go, I'm telling you. We get a very, very long way to go. People, these are educated people, these are civilized people, we always they ask the question, what's in the MP there for do?
Now, outside in now overseas, Cashbox, and then in London?
I talk to people in London and they tell me, say, oh, you know, see, this government, they beat this government. You know, I'm telling you.
Cashbox, I'm sorry, you know, I bought me, you lot bought in small, me, you right? Then in London, some of these guys, they're in London. Then they see how the London parliaments they work. Then they see how the speaker and the London parliament they work. Then they see how they challenge, when they challenge Boris Johnson. You know, come there, Kashi. The point is this: these people, when you talk to them, I cannot engage these kinds of people. When I get patient, You know, but these people they see.
Ibrahim, you, let me tell you, it's very good. You know why? Because it tells me, or it tells us that we've got a long way to go.
No, absolutely, and I get it.
If you do not engage them, Ibrahim, you would not see. It's just like when you teach teaching them that school. If you do not talk to them and see the level at which they understand a certain topic, you would not know whether you need to go before or kind of like stuck beside you there. So you need to engage them, Ibrahim.
Right.
And I'll tell you one thing. When I engage them, Ibrahim, like, even though I can try to make my point, I say, look, we don't hate nobody. In fact, to the extent people in the school now and say, what thing they do, the lazy attitude, they tell people and say, oh no, Ibrahim, come on, Twitter, and people's power and cash works, do to nothing, then get the motive, then they stop.
Oh yes, no, we get with motive. Kashi,
so you need to understand and engage with
matter of fact, Kashi, we have to change our motives now, because you know where we not go the uptick the Allah fire, you know they cannot for help. So we motive now, we want to go change that country today. In the not too distant future, we want for them position of authority now for fixing the Allah against so. They wanna go see how for run government.
I totally agree. Because
Ibrahim, what in Kashi they talk? You know why would like who small food they get time to talk to them? That tell you the problem of Sierra Leone. If somebody were there, not to just the West today, that people they educate. So man will not get authority instead as alone. They think that way. You don't know straight Sierra Leone get problem because Ibrahim. They say when you travel, you study men and things. When you travel, when you can at the West, so the first you are Kolipa, now see MP. I tell it only I tell them the way I go.
Yes.
I'm borrow.
Yeah.
When you talk to people, when they put and they tell you who not to task.
Comrade, you know what you do?
The 80s, I like to go work and I either to put the food for them. I see that it's below. I like to be. I see that but I see now I say MP not to say na enjoyment to na parliament cross carpet me the left here for the Boris Johnson. Then I see members of the party they design the left.
Yes.
Him this approach they at the West and they enjoy good light.
Exactly.
They enjoy good road. They begin to go hospital free. You know that they get everything they want at their disposal with the basic necessity. So if you don't engage them, if then people they engage, so who they get past with them, after no go add the promotion popular as alone. So we need for engagement. Tell them the hard fact. Tell them say who now are wicked. That makes a lot go before because they call this country. So it's fine.
Come here. This thing where we they talk about so you see, they all in here where they talk so. The parliament, where they talk about institutions, them functioning the way they should. Now, in they make them country they are prosperous.
Absolutely.
Now, in make them country they are gentle. Now, make them country they are better.
Now, institution.
Just because of waiting and get to.
Now, institution.
Now, because, like institutions are working the way they should, and people stand up for their right.
Absolutely.
People stand up for their right.
Absolutely.
Right? When you talk about the money way, the $500,000. All them money, 10 million, we don't disappear now, ECSL and all that thing in our neck. Ibrahim, you remember when we began to talk about like the registration, say why didn't they do half enough? We talked about it even before this thing, the revelation by the African Express. We talked about it and say, look guys, when I go check the budget, what it say, they allocate huge amount of money the budget to neck inside this year because they know say the registration process they go on. What thing happen? The money just they disappear. Ibrahim, well, like as I talk to you right now, dollar, you know, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, did we not predict these things?
Of course.
14,000
but Cash, you don't talk about that for 4 years.
For every dollar.
For 4 years, you don't talk about that.
Like now it is 16,000, nearly 16,000.
Exactly. Redenomination, all that.
We didn't go and make noise about it. We predicted about Alfred Peter Conte, which I therefore lead to APC.
Exactly.
Then Kashi, you know that the funny thing for that in the Guinea, where they under sanction. Do you know say 100 pounds a Guinea are less than $1 million franc Guinea?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Do you know $100 is less than 900,000 na Guinea for now? Imagine they will say that the Ukraine crisis, Guinea not get crisis. They're not the part of this group. They're not part of this planet at all.
The global village. No.
Yes, they're not there at all. Guinea, 100 pounds is 990,000 pounds. Imagine. $100 is 890,000. Imagine they know they own they know they not by this planet at all and they up space.
Yes.
That make the only dollar and the pounds they go down.
Come here, Ibrahim. You see, now this really try to talk laziness. How many times we don't talk now? Say, hey, COVID, Ukraine and Russia war. It creates opportunity for Africa. If Africa being serious, you can't come and it's not a laziness. But you know what? Almost still we talking here. Money inside America. excess cash during COVID of $2 trillion in the days in America. Basically, investors, they look outside for who puts that money there. They look, but you know what? Who does investor when they go invest in a country where the parliament, then they tell you, say, the parliament's not able to do nothing. But people sit down, they collect salary. Who's investor when they go sit down, they go invest in a country where they say the judiciary, they lock man and people up just like that. Judiciary, they tell you, say, no, the first thing they go tell you, say, no, they're not going to bail this person. Who that they go invest in a country? Who that they go invest in a country where it's not the function? Who that they go invest in a country where they say the NEC, the ECSL, the PPIC, the institutions, EU, don't tell we say they cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted.
Yes.
When they say they want to they are all they show, then they say don't know even the Prime Minister, the police, they investigate them. They pull reports about them. So when you they go put you money outside and say the person for investigate politicians cannot be trusted.
Absolutely.
Push you money there.
No.
When we hear people in the talk say, oh, now the COVID and Russia war, now I make this thing they happen. Ibrahim, no. Check under your foot.
Nope.
You go know exactly outside the problem lie about Salon. The problem they right under we foot because we're not serious. The institutions are not working. As they talk Cherry Coco no more. And I tell you, Ibrahim, when they talk about Cherry Coco, people, in fact, the Cherry Coco clan them, then they go and make stories say, now because we they support Diana Konomani, they try to buy favor instead of them look at the issue.
Kashi, why didn't they say Samura Kamara anymore?
On Cherry Coco, they go and defend blame like I said, no, because we they support Fossey.
Wait. But wait.
How do they go support Fossey?
Kashi, if you be say you run and meet them, they buy for they buy for flag bearer. Me at the show that support just like what I talk to Samura Kamara for now.
Exactly.
You will not for argue yourself.
Exactly.
Those are going to support Bellas and me. I say me they give me support because we don't patient 2 times and 3 times.
Absolutely.
APC need for look at them in a day. If you miss them, they put back say for on the meet. They say would I they for choose me, I for be sure that they choose. I don't declare.
Exactly.
Because me, I possibly why I declare last what you do me now. If you miss now, not true, what you do me. Now they feed me. If I support you, I not support them, gonna be queen.
Not so me democratic, right?
If you go say that you not gonna be queen. So that they can hide the support for somebody's sake.
Comrade,
they feed me. Now that go can give me something.
Comrade.
So if me.
Not only democratic rights, not only democratic rights, not to cash works in democratic rights for support that I want for support anytime.
No, Ibrahim, now make us say, now we don't want count tension, we try for discourage tension. Now I said the flag bearer and for choosing on the mate.
Exactly.
So if you know all that cheap politics, if you me want to look me say Samura Kamara talk and so man, I don't make it clear. I say for long not get problem, for so the man don't get sympathy, the man don't get what you need from him. Let them allow him for God's sake. Me don't talk as last time young candidate publicly. I know I accept say now the support because it don't be a 2-term youth for a big one again the respect. This time a new time.
Absolutely.
I make help.
Nobody.
Who that get for help? Who that get for support? I support. We can pampia. We get for support. We can because that na be right. Last you do that APC pass before. So what you get for do me? It's my right to support. You don't miss if I support last time and then they know or anybody who wants to know. But I'm your right. So I think that are the rubbish politics in the APC and decide for being good.
Yes.
The church and so then say this year.
Yes. Yes.
So again, if you don't say friend, say them don't say I don't go salute. I don't get problem.
They say, hey.
You can go for good picture.
Exactly.
One of them present 10 years. So who don't say Papa gently? No. If you say what they do, no, who just wants better alone, take an opportunity. Where come be the 10 years? Or matter go salute come, I want to do business free. You left really threaten all the for. Let the country find full engagement for go develop, go invest in the country, we don't go do business, period. So then cheap talk because I say that culture, the same culture they talk about it, SFP, so the same culture they never been like APC people left. It's life and they for go begin straight to talk. That cult life. We not oppose. No, right for critics. We don't oppose here for that. We do objective criticism. That's it.
Absolutely.
There's a difference between criticism. We do objective criticism. We don't they can't talk now for say who don't debate could say find we now platform with defend and to talk. Say it's nice. If I will talk so, when I feel just can't clap for them, no, we are not. Only Fulma and God then go just say something. You need to see. You need to change. Only Fulma and God then they change. Ibrahim, what am I all the change? We do good. They talk. We do bad. They talk about.
Absolutely. You know when Ibrahim go protest. Hey, comrade, they are no way to don't take care. Don't reach say woman don't get top secret clearance at this country. They don't say this for they do so sacrifice love for country no more. Hey, Ibrahim, I don't. If it's I don't want nobody for that the vacuum we see. I don't want nobody for can't even talk on social media. Now with that the vacuum we see. But people say I can't rub much small for this year, man. What's in the happy? Talk to me about this registration. They don't extend the second phase in the beginning now.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. I think tomorrow, the 20th of September, the second phase of the registration the second phase of the registration will start. We get and registration centers, then they open right across the 16 political districts. Over 1,000 registration centers, then they open right across the country. However, the concern I just want to tell people, especially the All People's Congress Party, the leadership, the current leadership, and the dissolved executive. We see the SLPP junta government headed by Marabiu, and that of the ambassador in Liberia. They bring people in from Liberia. We don't know. A lot of reports, a lot of complaints, then they come to me with evidences the way they should see. Then bring people in we in Liberians, then they are not Sierra Leoneans. And by law, we not forget foreigner the way for participate in the electioneering processes. Especially when it comes to registration. So this is a concern for the high authorities, the politicians, them we concerned, and especially the NGOs or civil society organizations then they ensure then they go get a phone whether in Europe or America for come monitor and observe Salon elections, especially National Elections Watch. Marcella Samba say you for don't know this now, see Masali, now the ambassador to Liberia. Masali, they bring Liberians, then they pull them from Liberia, bring them come na Salon for come register na Salon elections. We get for very, very mindful, we get for be very, very be careful and things how they happen. So the PPRC, the CM, the Sierra Leone police, the CM, NEC, the CM.
Exactly. You know, and this is something where I think say we for take up with the Liberian government for understand say Liberians are coming into Sierra Leone to register. Yeah, I think that's something that's very important that we for take up, Comrade Koita. You know, in a serious country now, the opposition, this is something where they for jump on. Rights to the members of parliament in Liberia, rights to the president of Liberia. Let us know say Liberians are coming into Sierra Leone, you know, to register. Where we know say it's a crime. And not forbid that with it. It looked like say I lost everybody now. But these are some of the issues. These are some of the very important things that we should be talking about. A serious opposition. Then see the videos now of people being bossed. Then they boss them, put them in a bus, then bring them calm. From Liberia into Sierra Leone. A serious opposition. Therefore don't capitalize on Andy. A serious opposition for all rights now to President where we don't see letters now from the parliament going to Liberia government for telling them say, hey, Liberians are coming into Sierra Leone to register. It is wrong. It should not happen. People's Power, I don't get you back.
No, Ibrahim, just before People's Power come back,
right on.
I think when you just like when you talk about the opposition, the rights to you know, for rights to President we are in all lensing and you know, again, it go back to the point say, oh, if they're fencing at this parliamentarian or the opposition have rights to the President where they will go beat him, they will go kill him. You know that country they not safe. He gets his family. You know the problem is why the guy they sit down in parliament. Like waiting at the use, waiting being so now the use for making guy they sit down in parliament, Ibrahim. Me, this thing, the way it can baffle me and pain me. Now me they sit down, who say they pay me? The waiting they pay me for are not able to execute my duty. I still sit down there and they eat money. People try to talk about say, oh, now only Sierra Leone for register. Of course, because the law when they pass recently, they tell you say you forget birth certificate, you forget the chief will go represent you, you forget NIN you forget your NI number, they give you other two things them. Parliament for any member of parliament for go represent you for saying that you this, that's alone you born and all lengths in the day. But people in the come out now Liberia now. The one way like they say people they forget that salon. People they get birth certificates, they refuse them for register. But the full person in Liberia, nobody no can mind challenge this government.
None. No opposition leader. People so go ahead, my brother.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. I think say just like within Catboxy, We leaders them therefore make clear judge upon where we not president of Liberia no see in citizens them. Then they come on Liberia, then they come now so for can register na salon elections. We don't see them where they happen. We don't see that they happen at Guinea. We don't see them they pull people them at Guinea, pull them from Guinea, cow them. Ibrahim, you know what? Because they no see Guinea they very close to the north, and then in the northerners then at the Shia border. They know say majority of the people where they do business na Guinea, when Sierra Leone, they are northerners. But we not see who size alone government see where law we go put boss na Guinea. Law we go take people them na Guinea, when Sierra Leone them. Law we bring them come, make them carry register na the elections. You know, but na Liberia no more this they happen. Na Liberia because they no see when you take people in Liberia, the easiest side for come with them na Kailan. You count them na Kailan, then go come they register easily and all them things then they. Then also Ibrahim, the concern way at the race way I want a lot of people to understand. I do an audio about that. How the people are they go through this registration. Ibrahim, you go imagine say then they pull 300, 400, 500 people in Liberia, then they register 200, 300 people inside one crane in a one crane center. You will imagine that? Now one crane center.
Right.
Then
So
they
they
register 200, 300 people now one crane center. And me, I dey challenge everybody, including NEC, I dey challenge them, see, all the people in the way that they register, see, they need to follow the process and procedures for register them. They don't get bad certificate, they are not Sierra Leoneans, they need to go through NCRA. In fact, they need to follow no protocol, no procedures. They need to follow. But yet still, then they register them, then they give their receipts, then get the way how they fix the system. Ibrahim, ITC business, computer business, now how you want let the computer run, now so they run. Now, the program there where you give the computer, now then program then there you access. How you want let the computer answer you, now so the computer they come in. Like for instance, we all
people start they call it garbage in, garbage out.
Of course.
In people's power, you know what I mean? They go to play from Liberia, the cash box. They don't know why. Then people in the southeast don't refuse for register. They say not to now, then they can't fool them because they struggle. So they all the choice now, the money they been budget for buying anything there, then they use that nobody contact for people in Liberia. Count and can't register. So because nobody they don't get checks, nobody will represent the other party in the southeast. The only thing that for them fill in the gap. For filling the gap and they do so now.
That beg the people at the southeast. Do I no say una vex, but una register because una get for vote for pull them. The power una gets at the ballot today. Una get for go vote against them. Let the world see and no say yes. Una not to the kind of people where they take una for be. Say una big fool. Una na tribalism na una depend. Pakistan we see na party business. Una remember nothing again. SLPP talk way. Una go prove them. Una go register so una go prove them wrong. Because again the opposition, Cherno Majuba. Cherry Cook of the APC, opposition were ready for win election. When I see them go pull people in Liberia with boss, we not see you at it, we not see you at call press conference, we not see you take interview, we not hearing nothing from you. But I see a guy there, the social media these days is so powerful. Cherry Cook not immune from social media. But on social media, now they rule the world now, now they turn the world around. Cherry Cook can make a video self now home office. I believe they get office now also. It can make a video. 3-minute video expressing concern, share them, it go worldwide. Everybody knows the leader of the opposition. Don't speak up. For say how go pull people in Liberia for can register them. You have to. These guys, God, what they tell and say these guys don't sell out to the SLPP because the plan is this. No matter what happen, 2028, they don't bargain with Madabio. Madabio go hand over power give them, but let them wait. They go for disappoint. They go for disappoint because of the plan and they don't plan. But they go disappoint. But some people, these guys have sold our democracy. And we go for stand up. Then we go for continue for talk. Because anybody was serious. No go sit and can't say they happy, sit down quietly. I want you to ask yourself this moment. Say, but if me an opposition leader, I go see they pull people in Liberia, they can't register them. I go sit down quiet. You ask yourself, civic education. How you think as a mortal man? How do they think as a mortal man? People so I continue with that.
So as I did say, we get for ensure we get partners them like the Mano River Union, of course them office dinner, ECOWAS, the Africa Union, we they for channel and complain indeed. We then go channel and complain indeed to the Mano River Union, ECOWAS and Africa Union. and that of the European Union, we na then don't champion Africa elections them for the past 2 to 3 decades. Therefore, make them complete and the evidences are there. The evidence is then there. You understand, Ibrahim? You go see the evidence system. Na Kailang you go see 50 people they give 1 green address. 50 people 60, 70 people they give 1 green address na Kailang. You go imagine that.
Wow.
So these are some of the evidences that we will get. Then they do the registration, then they put people in a idea because you know say Ibrahim, you get for you address, who say you reside na Saluya.
Exactly.
You get for the address and all of them things then you see 60 people 70 people they give 1 green address. We may not see that host in a Kailang. Now the village and we say 70 people they go in a 1 green host. You understand, Ibrahim?
Right.
80,
Absolutely.
90 people they give 1 green address, Ibrahim. You will imagine that. So these are all the evidence them where they should say they are not Sierra Leoneans. They are not Sierra Leoneans.
Absolutely.
How you go get address where you come out all the way Liberia, 60 people they go get address for instance, then go get number 10 Kaikodu Road. Number 10 Kaikodu Road.
Why they call me Tonso? You know,
because I know saying that they come with Peter Komot. Number 10 Kaikodu Road, you go get number 10 Kaikodu Road. Then when you go look at number 10 Kaikodu Road, Ibrahim, so them the house where they say na room and pala, 1 grey flat, 9 day. Then that 1 grey flat they then go get address of 60, 70 people. Ibrahim, these are all the evidences they would show say. Them people where they pull like the accounts them, they are not Sierra Leoneans. We got Sierra Leoneans them, of course, but they are not Sierra Leoneans. Why they not do the same thing to Guinea? Why they not do the same thing to Ivory Coast? Because now we at the Mano River Union, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia, and Ivory Coast, they not do the same thing to Guinea because they not say if they go put boss today na Guinea, they say they go put boss na Guinea. Let's Sierra Leoneans they will Guinea. Let them come register. They know say 90% of them people in the way go board that bus day now Northerners them, and 90% of them then go vote for development. They not go vote because of party. They go vote for the one where they feel say go can redeem them from the unnecessary arrest them where they make to political and opponents leaders them. So now I make because they know say Liberia. Now they then go able to use and then guy how they bring from Liberia, Ibrahim. Now money then give them. Get money away, then they give them people for can register. A lot of schools them where now government and government assisted schools where they in other parts of the country in Kailang, they not even get side for sit-down, benches and chairs them. Not they in other schools today. And you know, Ibrahim, you and I don't see a video where the end they come, where in the Hamburg schools them, then they locate, then they go now some other places them. Usai look safe for the Usai Watan. So them money then they always then they go spend for pay them people from Liberia. Let them bring their camp for camp register. Then they able use them money then they for rehabilitate their schools then they for build some of their schools then they for ensure say the schools then get toilet facilities. They get a lot of things them way then go at, but then go spend up our people them. So we responsibility now. Now follow what the attention of the president of Liberia or we are. Lord tell us in citizens them, then they come na salon ayasu, then they can register na salon election for participate na salon elections 2023 elections. So I think say that one day a very serious way upon for take am very serious, Ibrahim. So I just want to encourage also Sierra Leoneans. Tomorrow, the second phase of the registration, they start. But we don't see any plans where the main opposition don't put in place for the second phase of the registration. What we mean plans, Ibrahim, now the Southeast, Usai will not get party observers then they by law. The APC forget party observers then at every registration center. We don't they see then plans the day. So maybe the day per work behind the scene, I don't know. But before the day they end today, the relevant authorities them, I will engage them, talk to them, how best they don't put 1 or 2 things then in place for make the party go get representative now all the stations them. We know what Ibrahim visits our station. You go imagine the mommy way then go ask for bring birth certificates. And she's over 78 years old. She's over 70. You go imagine and go ask her for birth certificates. All old mommy, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, this is serious. Come request a cash box. Then go ask the mommy for birth certificate. You go imagine birth certificate. You go ask all old mommy. You go only ask pikin where you know show off. So tell maybe you look the pikin face, you look at her say, no, this is not matured yet. You where they look at say, no, this is not reach the age. For make it come forward for come register. Then you go ask her for birth certificate. But you go see all old people them. Then they are above 60, 65 years. People go look the number, you know, say this is they above the age. I no need for ask her for birth certificate. Only what I need for know is he is a Sierra Leonean. She is a Sierra Leonean. That is it. That I no more I need for no. I don't need for go bring pussy for all old mommy go ask her for birth certificate. Like say, you know, these are all the concerns. But when you come now the Southeast, Ibrahim come request and cash box. Then they ask people for birth certificate. And then they even ask for NIN number. So maybe, probably a lot of people and they don't go through the voters registration before they come for the NIN number. And this now the way this way they don't program the machine they are. Now the way this way where soiree, you see soiree, where in one game it work na neck, then also it work na the NCRE. In one game it gets two jobs. It gets two jobs. It work na the NCRE, it work for government na the NCRE, it work for government na neck. So these are the ways that this way and you see soiree, they don't program the machine they are so. You see, so we want for encourage Sierra Leoneans them, we want for on-seat President Pio, make we come out and make we go register. We know say the registration is very, very difficult for people, but success they come easily. When allow with patients, now with different registration centers them, Lord we ensure say we go, especially the first time voters them, Lord we go exercise with franchise, Lord we make sure say we go there and we be stubborn and we tell the NEC officials they say we must register. And indeed we must register. Now we constitutional right for make we register as citizens. Nobody not for infringe that we right, and nobody not for stop we for make we not exercise the franchise. So now we responsibility as a nation. When allow we patient, especially them mammy the way they sell in the market. I know say when I get for take care of the home, when I get for pay light bill, when I get for pay water rent, telephone bill, when I get for pay house rent, and especially when school not open, so when I get for take care of the kids, we know buy teaching and learning materials for the picking them. A lot of things then they transportation, lunch, we can understand. Say if you not sell, you know for take care of the home. But however, it will find for let you make that sacrifice there, let you go na the registration center, make you go there and you go register, then you will come back and do your business. No matter how difficult. Yes.
Okay. It look like say somebody called people either. So you know, comrade Kashi.
Ibrahim, something the way we are allowed to draw attention party called us here. And this all they go to the parliament. Now the blatant use of teachers them for go suppress speaking in a school for so they will say we let go register for food for president. You campaign in school. Those who campaign them this.
Yeah.
You know that at the highest level, you know then Tia Ibrahim is not funny. School area not to say for go politics to student them. Say whether they you now whether they pay school fees so now go register for food for president. You teachers Ibrahim. That one, other one, your way is called a coordinator from our born and not you that the only person that see what pass the differences. You know how immortal like hog. God get immortal my head, get hog mot. You know, where you see them in the day, Ibrahim, and they sit up. These are things where for raise the parliament with the seriousness for let them can go, they go oppress the beginning because now they watch the beginning now. If you're the beginning, say without the beginning, no one answers because it's a lie. So these things, where they go, Ibrahim, would they call them here, would they continue for calling the members of parliament and say, this is the responsibility for look at them here, can I go call them to book self from which school and they happen, which principal and they, Ibrahim.
You know, comrade, you know, to that point, and that's a very great point with the Siam. In as much as we want civic education, we picking them, nobody no for go tell, again, nobody no get right for tell anybody that for vote for. Especially when you reach at the school level at that age, then picking in the then teach them the civic responsibility. If they don't reach the age, they have a right to register and they have a right to vote. Now, they the line done. The line not cross beyond that point.
Ibrahim, the civic education is now permitting the constitution as part of the curriculum. Not for good say for good vote for Mother Bio.
Thank you.
NDP school fee for them. The civic education should be like the constitution being part of their curriculum, maybe.
Exactly, that's true. And also, let me make them very clear. Letting guy they understand, say the constitution make provision. Also, I say the government gets an educational objective for every citizen. So it is the responsibility of the government. Matter be not able to pay for nobody's school fee. Every money that goes towards this so-called free quality education, which is nonsense, we all know people still pay heavy money for its school.
Ibrahim, now the way that one day where they go and fool people na the Southeast Sea. Na mother view na pay fees for picking them. You go imagine that even the way we call himself say in a mother view, we na the president. He don't talk then I kill him and say na in the pay fees. Na in the pay fees for picking them at this country. Imagine that.
Ibrahim, you know why make we get all these lies? You know why make them people that they do all this in there? There is a vacuum.
Absolutely.
Ibrahim, you and I come there, we talk about this people's power. We talk about this free education, about the money when the presidency it is spent $500 for every child.
Exactly.
When you do that, basically they say we send 2.5 million people and they enjoy the free education. That means it's spending $1.2 billion. We country budgets not even reach that.
Thank you.
We country budget not even reach that. The parliamentarians, then when the people the traditional people so believe in. Because let me tell you, Brian, these people are still playing games, say social media is not good enough. Social media, the propaganda pack. Even the Africanist press, when they put evidences, they still tell them people and say the Africanist press that job they want inside the government. Now where they don't get, Who that say, people's power, Ibrahim, for make this election easy for we all. We want change that country. It starts with the parliamentarian. It starts to make the parliamentarian lose la by this government in the public. Many people and see and go one.
How do you lose la you like man? They talk to which African press talk not true inside. How do you?
Exactly. But I just want to make them very clear. Whilst I lost everybody for now, that Section 9 of the Constitution, I make them very clear. Educational objectives. Educational objectives. It's in the Constitution. The government has responsibility from the taxes where people they pay for take care of the education of that country. Not of all like you. That body we shan't get it. Open down the United Nations. Now they go talk big talk. They the country they look the school and picking the work and water. They don't get toilets. They don't get clean drinking water. All this stuff then they. But Salon people. You see, I want to digress back small. I want to talk about this. The next thing we get for happening at the boundary delimitation. It can. But let me see. Let me get on this call back. Yeah. Comrade Kashi. Hello. Oh, you know what? Now the Wi-Fi it's torment. Okay. I should be good now.
Certain information and the way now inside information them. It get inside where you get access before you can have the public. Who don't get access to this information before you can have the public? Now the parliament. You and I now only waiting then at the public. Now we analyze. Now we talk about the Africanist press already don't give me information them waiting at the public. Then now that they're supposed to go inside it now and go double check this transaction number. Before that they sit down, then they watch all of these evidences. No people them. No they talk up. The one mistake talk up in the parliament. Before that they say their opinion of something where you can go check how true is it. You tell me say that your opinion.
Kashi, I wonder we don't do about 53 minutes. I want to switch small because the next thing we get for coming the boundary delimitation and the proportional representation. And the next phase that we get for going to. So we predict at this platform, and I know say then get for apply that back because if you look, people's probably don't raise this point. When you look at the centers, then the registration centers, them now ward them put, they now put the constituencies them. Waiting to do because then they work on this boundary delimitation. And I know say the Constitution section 38A5 make a very clear for say the not less than 5 years, not more than 7 years, as long as now the only time they ready for do boundary delimitation. Right now, 5 years yet. Now November they make them 5 years when they get the authority for do a boundary delimitation. We know say they get for do and get for apply them. Members of parliament get for sit down. Cheriko could get for sit down back and watch them do them. They go back free. Nothing they stop them because again. At the time when they announced the elections, Section 38A1, it talk and D. At the time when they announced the elections, as long as boundaries and constituencies them exist, that's it. There is no need for any other boundary limitation and this and that and all that stuff. As long as at that time when they don't announce, because when you don't announce the date, nothing not for change again. You know, they begin change the process. You spoil the election process. If you begin change certain things there within the calendar, they do it. So as far as they don't announce, at the time where they announce the election date, constituencies exist. There is no need for proportional representation, but they want for do boundary delimitation, they want for do proportional representation. Now I may not even put the constituency there. But these are the things we know say get for happen. I don't know when I see them, but maybe I'm just seeing it my own way. But I don't know what you want to think, but that's coming in Kaji.
Well, ultimately, we need to rule nothing out again, because if we don't talk here for NI number, then say they happy in the next point. I'll see that the government use and blatantly, not just the NI number now, they make a condition for registration. All to the say, Sierra Leone for prepare the mind for this. President Biobi say, for they say anybody rig election, you don't prepare the country for war. So all prepare our mind say if President Biobi, because rigging the start way before the polling day, if you say one do voter suppression. Oppression being out laws the way you be saying, not in the constitution, Ibrahim. Sierra Leone and so all prepare say we are heading with the come back also come out, because maybe also being come out will not learn lesson. Because if you see person walking foot to one side, you cannot pull the stone, you can't walk your foot day. So until if the stone damage you too now, this will pull the stone now. Ibrahim, would you tell people and say, Lord prepare our mind for now we the people are not prepare our mind for challenge this unconstitutionality. Because if you all option not fail with the parliament not fail with, then the judiciary, the police on talking on the neck, we don't see the blatant misbehavior, then thief and what thing they do, the statistics, the NCR, they all side of fail with the people who they pay them people here. Now make them get work. Now take work at the handback. Where what in 1990 if where AFR take up between 1998. 1919, where the first people for going to push in 1998, what already for them? Possibly they say to go work in the state house, they go so. Don't take work at the handback. When you don't get office for Sido, we'll say I defeat the family. Because until we all become poor, they're going to say poverty, not sweet. If you picking better pass me picking, now I'm going to make us keep quiet. But if you picking not better pass me picking, they will not put it for like picking better pass me picking. Now we challenge them there, because we get for challenge now say the same life where they live, so you picking me say I for live. Ibrahim, we don't talk again say where you can at the West, but you know the assistant there. Yeah, poor man no money, all my sleep is a light. All my was to matter, all my body chicken and chips. Those who say a privilege before man they eat them. You don't say that the Muska driver, I don't know more say get money pass me, but you must try to buy and do why me get or me not get money by Muska. But every other thing is equal opportunity. Ibrahim now they talk for. So until people realize that equal opportunity, say them where they not get blessed in pass we. If I fact to get blessed in pass themselves Sunday. So the way check their home, they say, I swear, and then they come on, that makes a lot also. Because it takes sweat pull for head in nation, now swear in the city fella. So until we tell them, say, some of who get blessed in past, when the good deeds in their governance, we need the change. Let it not come treat you like say, we not sleep them, or like say, we not get blessed, or like say, them blessed, then get blessing. No, now we say, not to this kind of madness and rudeness. If he up to not feel, now we take the work like the hand back, now we give the work up like the hand. That's the only option I need by him.
You know, come here. I'm glad in this comment when you make something, you say something just where you say money not in the country there, it is system where actually they in this country. You know, come here, let me give you like a recent research, not a research safe, it's known, but like something where they not news all in there. Do you know, say, like they kind of like read something in a Bloomberg where they say we say the global debt, in other words, just because of systems. Imagine the global debt in the world. It is 5 times the GDP of the global GDP. In other words, like waiting at the debt where governments don't. Then we go back to like Africa. Who do they get the raw material them? Who do they get the thing them when they take for produce? Now I make they tell people and say Africa is responsible for the demise, the trouble where the world they go through right now. 5 times the global debt, Ibrahim, Comrade and People's Power. It is 5 times the global GDP. Because Africa sit down, we know they produce. Every day we sit down, we they wait for handouts, we they wait for bigger, we they wait for make them give me. The thing them when the very thing them when they produce with the raw materials and they come out from Africa. But then the very people, the human capital, we get them. We get the most youthful population of the world. We know they use them for produce.
You know what you make do Tikas box? When you say Africa is responsible for the demise of Africa. Let me give you an example. Congo. The supply chain issue. Africa is responsible.
Because we're not contributing anything.
No, I support you, Cassie. Not make I support you. Congo na the richest country in mainland the world. Then Congo big pass United Kingdom 10 times. Cashbox, all of who they run, only run for Congo, all they run for Canada. We say all the millions they come for make all country. We not they run for Congo. Because opposition not the all they run for Canada because system not the. That make I agree with you. If system they will not level for content for Canada because all the millions don't get you. If I didn't factor them, they will to the Canada part of the world.
Come in. Now the lithium more than they take make electric motor car. When I know they become popular now, who side they come out? Congo, now they come out. Congo, but yet still, then they take the factory them wouldn't they take make their electric motor car there. Now China they did. So then they pull the raw materials from Congo, carry and go China. China go make them. Then they sell them to the rest of the world. Oh, scary stupidity that one day. You know what they say the supply chain issue. They say the supply chain because when they wait for when they sell and go to China, and obviously it will cause supply chain issue.
Absolutely. And not only that,
systems, we talk about so.
Exactly.
Because we not rely on system, we not believe in system. We just see don't almost say, oh, parliament's not able to do nothing. This government they do anything they feel for do. We don't believe in systems and structures, Ibrahim.
Absolutely. And not only that, when you look at talking about Congo again, what did they do? They use picking them for minding and the politicians them that they get the money up front, then bribe them and get everything they get. They drive big motor car them. You know, it's Africa. We just not care for ourselves. That is the problem. It's a mindset issue. We just get a slavish mentality today for take advantage of one another. That is exactly what happened in Sierra Leone. Now the same thing no more that mindset. We're not emancipated. Today we're still slaves to ourselves. I see one video come record share with one guy where they say go thief then this there. OSD guy that then catch this thief man. We all agree say thief not fine.
Seriously.
But the OSD it didn't the video now tie the guy, so they tie that guy in foot and body to the railing and everything. Now torture, it's crimes against humanity. You don't get no right for torture that person. You catch thief man, una subdue him, not over to police, but the culture of the country, the big thief man wait, Marabio $500,000. Now thief. Inside this one $500,000 just for United Nations trip. Not thief. But he's free. You not get mind for good time. When they contribute to the demise of a young man and young woman. Them look at prostitution of the country. Then picking their own man they sleep with a most man just for making meat. This is the society that we have. Where as Africans we not like ourselves, we not care about ourselves, and until we change our mindset, until the leaders they will put in positions of authority stand up for protect we. So God and this day nothing is happening. Cherry Coco as the leader of the opposition. Can they Laden? Hey, members of they talk and say at the rich point in that country, you know they grab them and say you want to be member of parliament because you feel in a place for go play, a place for go coast. Now lie. Now place where you get for go walk, you get for show you people what you they do. We talk again, say members of parliament, get for rich point, bruh. We check your Facebook page. We check your Twitter page. We check for see what you they do for we, what you don't do. Because now they tell me your language, they tell me what you don't do. Look for my President Nkrumah. Look in page them. Go na Instagram, go na Facebook, go na Twitter, go na LinkedIn. Former President Nkrumah, keep them because what in do generations yet unborn get for Siam and no say this president, if you're not there against with Winaya, 100 years from now, then go look at him and see him because the records will be up there to show. It reached that point in our country. And this is the thing. Come read and catch. I go back to that point where they talk about then people are waiting at the diaspora now. Lack of civic education. We still ask when I say what members of parliament for do. It brings me to the question. Some of those people, like you say, they give old dog new name. I know what I mean. I don't know if you get what I say. That old dog, that name we don't sabi, bruh. Take the change that name the param. I think we get responsibility. Not continue for talk and advocate. I think if they listen, they listen. But we get a responsibility for the new generation, the young man and young woman them. The society don't wake up. You see, they reach a point now. Then one them get for begin tell the old one and say, "But una self, enough is enough." But waiting get for happen. Let the young one them be prepared. Because they go for try for shut them down. They go for try for do everything for muscle them. When you talk, they arrest you, they lock you up. So the next thing they talk again. The next one talk, they lock them up. So we think for happen until we come collectively and say we get for stand up and say enough is enough. We need to take care, we need to do it. Then at the only time the way things go for better for we.
Ibrahim, you talk about the next generation and my hope is like, what are the fear for right now? That the boot leaking attitude we don't do inside them political parties there. They believe say I be somebody where they aspire for go be a member of parliament. Where they in the UK, they ask me that very question. Imagine they aspire for go be a member of parliament. They ask me that question. They say, waiting remember this government, they do waiting they feel for do. This not someone imagine.
No, not apart from him, people are not former members of parliament when they talk the same audio. You know what he make Kashi until we get play when they ask that question when they go for say no, this you know guys for drum. You don't give a symbol. I don't talk at time like I say if somebody that is West here, they actually MP they do they look now at the British Parliament when they put Prime Minister on the spot and they ask a question, look at America Parliament, you know, watch them beautiful things there, they enjoy them. Yeah, the MP not charge to Boris Johnson, they put on a hot seat. They you know, you they look and see they ask that question, cash box, that person not supposed to be safe, even a headman that's alone. Even headman, because if he didn't that part of the world, me I just can now I don't see them tear away, they hurt me right now, they pin me and say, look, democracy we fine. Me no see
we don't understand the way salon system.
No, we don't understand the Kasi. No, so when everybody talks so, we don't understand and pass to be. Kasi someone MP and me are working to go school. 60% of the middle working to go school. Most of them is Kelko self. Women working to go school. Not the apart from I become the mal spin there. Who's one and we 30 years ago we be going to school in the let's talk about. So I'm in the primary school self. So no can tell you we don't understand. We've seen the system. We don't see system them from moment in time. We can't to the MPRC 1, 2, can't to Tijanka, can't to AFRC, can't to Anescoma. Some of us don't see system. Work with the system then. We don't see people. I always use Anescoma. I always use Anescoma in example. Say between 2002 to 2005. Now they make them. They get to a 7 seat. He not just win debate as a leader of the minority party. He win vote. On top SLPP, that's not just two parties in parliament. If it's SLPP, he not just win the debate, they win the vote. Because she make me identify the problem, I make I know the problem, I know say the problem because I don't see for many years this lapses here.
Exactly.
I don't see from who come as young boys 18, we don't can see war, we don't see the lapses, we don't see the take campaign pass the left, or we see them fully left in the hands of and people left the population of the military, we see the air pass, the camp, we see the young kaba. All we say you don't go wrong. Me, I witness them. I don't ever left salon in life. I witnessed them. I did it. So I know said don't go wrong. They see now. No, no can them this for picking them. Or picking them. So who does snap now? See who does suffer cash box. Now we fight again. It's very difficult to do so because police are like a dream. How are they passing MP them? How not for passing them? Well, if we want to get a better country, we get a better institutions. When we get strong, is the way IG gonna say this time the rule. The chief justice gonna rule. You know, we go hold somebody that sees in bill because of government instructions. You know, you begin look at things that this way only the left because who does suffer them. So what do you want? What do you know? Preach me. When many power granted in the G lodge. What is Sabi passing? What is Ebo Salon? Someone just be nothing. Some of you know the length and breadth of Salon. From the south to the east to the north to the west, who Sabi all. Who work around. Who participated in so many things them. Who participated in good and other things them. All the things them. Who will not be no. Now they say this will be wrong. Kasi until people understand what they talk, say we not just give people them. Then only some of them look blow because you know Sabi nothing. Me are the working to go school. Then they give lodge, they feed you. Me are the who they give lodge to people them. So not tell me so no. They are just novice, they are just ignorant seekers. But they have to understand, say, if you want to go to business alone, no go for go pay money, say we go for go change system, build the system, equal opportunity like the West, equal opportunity. Then they are all man they eat chicken and chips, all man they sleep at light, all man they watch television, news, all man get internet and phone. Both things wrong as alone cash box.
No, go tell you say, we can as alone, you go understand how the system they work now. No, now we as a people get to come together and change the system. You know, comrade, like this analogy, I already talked about. Come up behind the MPDM. For example, you would that word. If you're a woman, you married, you get your man now. That's how you this. They don't break and this way. They don't understand the importance of members of parliament because, comrade, you know everything. There's the why behind, right? So we got to make sure say until the people understand the why, then they go for to see whose side where they go. Now we didn't host, but you man and wife. The man, now the president. No, as a matter of fact, the woman now the president. The man now parliament. Man now the parliament, now the country. The woman, not the president. You know what you do? Because now the woman, they run host. No, so the president get the responsibility for run the host. But to God in this day, the man, they watch all. You know, he can make like you not see something there. But he make like say if you are not see, like you see or you not see. But if the man putting foot on his map, let's say the woman will make a certain decision. Them, the woman, the president will not forget. He will make some decision. The man not agree with that decision. Day. So God in this day, the man involved now they can last because what you do? Now the supreme legislative authority, now the parliament, now the oversee all thing. Cash Foxing talk about the papa and mama house. When my can say if you like make palava, where the woman not let the mommy not explain because the mommy explain like that. Mommy na president, the pan of parliament. You know can give, you know can let the mommy go explain boku, but you know say if he can't be taking parliamentary role as the man to go to this day, they win that case they back. If he left a normal be say okay that the woman. So na so the host, na so we government day. The woman na host na the president, the man na the parliament. The parliaments get enough powers for make sure say put a stop to the president. The woman go and make certain decision. But the man, whether the parliament go say, I don't agree. No, this one, I know they do so. That's what they do. Because now the man, now they in charge, now get the authority. So don't put an away. So tell you understand how they go. Which make delicate today for country rotten. Una they suffer. You will argue we. You they suffer. Now this thing say they say, hey Brian, you get fake life. Because so take it, they let practicalize things for una. We already now not gonna need for come talk on social media. If we want for look no more say the small will get now corner ourselves they will manage your life, everything is all right for we tell God thank you, they go and come, we for take care of we PK, take care of family, we live relatively a good life. We don't need for care. But you where they come for argue we. You didn't they are joining you, they 50-30, they can argue we. Hey bo, when they talk, they say you talk, you look down on them, they talk down. No, when they talk down on you, they tell you no more say you not for live that life day. You not deserve for live a joining life, you not deserve for use bathroom with people who you not sabi. These are the things, but if you don't know, you don't know. Now you make with the break then tear to now, not to the life that you for live. You do work now money, you don't even know what you get for it, you don't even know what you get for give picking it. That is not a life. We were in there, so we picking it, what you get for it today? We don't even get for her to eat, then they go pink cupboard today. So what you argue with for? Then the one day where they live that kind of life, where they live, now then they fight for protect that life there because not thief, then they thief. So then they go tell all kind of thief for can't talk against we back. But like I will say, so go and this day, una way they pan that big full today, we are not boku again. The one that we don't get sense, we brother and sister we don't get sense, then boku, then they see, and we get the message them. We will not the kind of we can share the message them, but we get the message them, and they appreciate we. What do they do? What do they say? The education what they give them. They know say this now be lacking in that country today. You will depend that today they can because that politician go give you one bag rest. You know, they go give you we get buried, then go there and give you 1 million euros. Where the possible if you look where the possible die, what is killer? Ania. Simple, Anya. You look, somebody die one day, no go see doctor. You know, you get medical history safe. Somebody can die, you know, one day see dentist. Na teeth, na killer, and teeth they die. I hate God have mercy. Anyway, come read Kashi, people's power. Well, if one coming, I can come in about only 1 hour 11 minutes. But this country, if for fix.
Yeah, not left I think.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. We'll continue this conversation. You know, they done. We go open with it. Salon people left. We go open with minds. So God, we go be free. We are not slaves. We're not to slave anymore. When I don't believe say we don't come up on slavery. Don't take charge of our life. We all the Allah say the queen, this and that, and take with that money and take with this. What we don't do now for fixer. We cannot even take care of ourselves. We're able for govern ourselves. We kill ourselves. We fetch ourselves. We do the right things. We only stay within the confines of the laws. Salon people there.
The country not serious, Ibrahim. The day way salon the serious. Trust me, salon damn easy for fix. I always say that. Salon damn easy for fix. Because for make you fix salon, for make you go take police, you sort them out, tell the IG say, no to me, they control you. Make sure say you do things them in the confines of the law. That's it. Tell the judiciary say, no, not to me they tell you say for jail somebody, do things them waiting the law say. Let the parliament kind of like do their job. Tell PPIC for do waiting the constitution. Tell them for do. Tell NEC men and do waiting they're supposed for do. The registration process not supposed for be like, oh, let me go inflate the figures in the southeast. You wanna feel say people that will get interest by salon. No, they see them in there and say, this not time bomb, not the country, anything can happen. These are the things that I make and tell people and say, salon damn too easy for fix as long as you get the right mind. Look like what we see then there. The president and President Ruto also, where they can say, hey, they go after like Kenyatta. Because the guy, this they tell you, I remember.
I can't see what's all day. I see SFP and the chair and better one at the forum. I look there and laugh. I say President Ruto talk and keep President Kenyatta not kill nobody in the country. No whole opposition go jail because of the freedom. That makes they talk so. But you don't kill people, so they give the extra. Just like if it's on the left, you will not no more.
No, but you see, comrade, waiting me all to that side, the fact that the start of like this mess will depend. So you feel say Kenyatta not to be corrupt president or whatever, but you see until we create the atmosphere of stability. We start from outside with it. I tell people the very first step. I said the way they do this COI, Commission of Inquiry, it will lead for make salon become shaky, unstable. Because you take them Sajusu there, you left them. Wait if 10 million for go pay with debt. You left them, you make a financial secretary back to the country, but you go take other people and you run after them. So how sincere were you in this fight? And then the COI, look at people, they take 4 years now. ex-ministers a day wait and sees like they get a travel ban 4 years just for oppress the opposition. Look again what the guy say. He need to appoint no opposition person because he won't get effective opposition. Can you imagine? Because he know the power of effective opposition, Ibrahim.
Exactly.
That tells you we can't it damn too easy for
and Madam, you know the appointed as in the now you don't say thief, the appointed as a spokesperson.
Yes.
In the name of
thief force.
Yeah, in the name of collaboration. You know, so you know,
Madam, you know, be honest. You know, so you take me because chief man, you don't chief man, they keep incompetent man.
Of course,
you know the man no want tribalism. Mao is a thief. You see that and that be the appointed for canton spokesperson for you. So we
the reason why we talk about thief and all that in the day, if Madam you become genuinely work for this country, or would go oppose this guy? So why would get reason for even talk? Because you go see and say, but wait, honestly, wait till we talk now.
Yeah. You know, look, Mama Airport.
If Madam you can't take that's a Madam being for succeed person in school, if he been he not count which one.
I agree.
And if Madam not do the greater part of the work club cash for make rules that they spend money. If we just can't if you can't solidify, you know, he can't do the cohesion without the man as you witness today the president, tomorrow I sack all ambassadors them across the world.
With vengeance.
Today, tomorrow nobody knows ambassador again.
With
the first
vengeance.
person do in history.
With vengeance.
They can now begin problem now by try by begin problem now. You know, begin sack problem. Count you transplanted. Up till date will talk so. If they pull me by court, me up till date, you know, for fix the problem.
You know, it's sad. But I know say with President Kuruma, President Ruto, we talked about day. I know say if President Kuruma can reverse back in 2007, I don't think say Bokov then guy over there the cabinet go do it again. But anyways, that it don't pass. But this is a good lesson. Dr. Samuel Komara, opposition still opposition. Let's get effective opposition. But all this money we don't thief. All this because anyway. 500,000. Ustem neck, you know, the Cherikoko, the chairman, the leader of the APC in the parliament, when he will call the neck commissioner for can answer this $10 million we get for do with all this nonsense we'll get elected today with the rubbish registration process and everything.
They go say the clerk of parliament and the speaker no go allow him.
Yes.
Because Salon, if you continue, but if you begin talk, you cannot stop because every time you say one thing, another thing, they go say, no, the speaker and the clerk no they allow him. But the constitution, neither the speaker, section 86(2),
yes.
I think that the speaker
yes.
and the clerk, now they sit up on them.
Yes. You know, Cashbox come recruit time people's power, Salon people. If the leader of the opposition, Chariko, could not even want to take that $10 million hit, where this $500,000 just for go to United Nations. Can Cherikoko, one of the people now they say when I left the member, but when I go ask Cherikoko, let demand, let make some statements where the president come, let demand say $500,000 for go to UN, una country day like how una day una they suffer so. Yeah. Anyway, we left like I say, don't open up the can of worms again. Bye bye everybody.